Howdy. It's been a little bit. I've definitely been slacking a little bit on the uploads, so that's on me. I filmed a few things. I had this MasterPiece Starscream come in, and I filmed a few things with it, but I just wasn't super satisfied with it. So maybe I'll kind of rework it and see what happens. Maybe throw this up there, but I just got done working out, so I've got the protein shake over here. It's birthday cake flavored, and I don't like birthday cake in general, so I bought a protein flavor of the thing I don't like. So always dread drinking that one. But today I was on, I had a little bit of a fig hunt type thing. I stopped at Walmart, and I just happened to see they actually had Turbo Mans, so I already actually have one. Like, I was able to get one ordered, but they had them in stock. So if that's something you're into, then Walmart might actually have them in stock now. But I picked up a Scorponok and an Autobot Trax from I believe that would just be a reissue of the War for Cybertron Kingdom series. And so then after that, like where I live, the Walmart and the Target are just like right across the street from each other. So I popped over there, and I'm usually, like, whenever I go to Target, I'm usually looking for AEW figures. Still looking for a Britt Baker. She's been eluding me. And then got a Chris Jericho and a Kenny Omega. And then they just announced a Christian, so I'll probably be looking for that. But in the Transformer section, I happened to peep this that I didn't even know existed, to be honest. So this is a MasterPiece movie series, Optimus Prime from the Bumblebee movie. So I guess this is, I think, MPM-12 is what he's called. So I believe that they've had like a Starscream from the 2007 movie, a Ratchet from the 2007 movie, an Ironhide, and then I think a couple different Bumblebees, maybe a Megatron. But this is the first one I've ever seen in the store. So if you're looking for these, they might actually be at your Target. I think they were supposed to get there in August, but it's September now, so who knows? Those distribution problems can get a little freaky. But I figured this was actually cool enough that I could, do a little unboxing of it. I haven't owned any of these movie series versions of these MasterPieces before, but I do have an Optimus, an MP-10 Optimus that I can show from, that would have been, was that 2013, 2014? So that was whenever I first got into MasterPiece figures, and he's actually from the, he's like a Toys R Us exclusive, and he's Year of the Horse, so he's painted all weird. But packaging wise, pretty basic, pretty standard fare. It's just cardboard, which is fine. I am fine with no plastic. The only plastic really in here is the figure, and then he's got a couple zip ties in here, or the little elastic ties. So I'm gonna crack him open and see what we got. I'll be using cold steel today. So I got everything kind of cleaned up a little bit, and first impressions on him, he's big. I have the MP-10 that I'll show here in a second, but I think he might be taller. He definitely has longer legs. I guess that's probably a Bayverse Transformers type thing with the legs being so long. So he's got these super long legs, and then a sort of short torso, and small head, and then he's got this massive gun. This is easily probably the biggest gun for a figure that I have. I think it's probably even bigger than some of the Dinobot MasterPieces that I've got. One gripe that I do have with this is the hand. So the fingers, he's got a posable thumb, sort of. You know, you can move that around a little bit, but the actual fingers, they're stuck in a, you know, position kind of like that, like they're in an L, but like I can't even make that. They're almost, you know, bent at the first knuckle, and then they're just stuck like that. And the first finger moves, and then the middle, the ring, and the pinky, they're kind of in like a, you know, a mitt type thing. So you're not going to be getting any dynamic hand gestures, you know, no rock-ons, no flipping the bird, none of that. It's this weird, awkward handshake, and that's pretty much it, or a fist. But you know, like I said, this gun is pretty massive, and it folds up. So I assume that if it's like the MP10 that I've got, this gun probably goes somewhere, you know, probably stashes somewhere inside of the cab of the truck, something like that. But the gun, like I said, it's pretty cool. He can definitely hold it. He can hold it pretty well. That was the problem that I had with the Starscream. Like I said, I haven't uploaded a video for that, but he couldn't hold the gun that he came with. You had to kind of, you know, pressure grip it. And this one, it's got the little notch in the palm, and so it fits in pretty good. And you know, he can hold it pretty easily. And it looks like, so it's almost a double joint at the elbow. So this first joint up here, it only goes straight, you know, straight on his bicep, and then the actual elbow joint itself is on a ratchet. So that's a little awkward to try to get, you know, positioned. But at least with the ratchet, you're not going to have to worry about, you know, his arm or something falling if you set it up. You know, you're not going to have to worry about it, you know, getting weird. Let's see, where else? Okay, so you've got a ratchet at the knees. I do always like that, because that just makes it super easy, especially if you're doing like maybe one leg pose or like a running type pose. That makes it a little bit easier to get those down. He's got the ankle pivot, and yeah, so it goes forwards and backwards, and then a little bit side to side. This is probably, I assume, for the transformation. I haven't transformed him yet. But yeah, so I mean, in terms of posability, definitely you can definitely pose him easily. Oh, and he's even got a ratchet in the hip, so that's pretty nice. And then with all that movement, I knocked that out. And I guess that's it. Yeah, and he has one on the shoulder as well. That's pretty awesome. This is probably the most ratcheted figure I've got. I can't remember how many he had. He had quite a few, but I don't think it was as many as this. Like, that's pretty awesome. And then in terms of, you know, other bonus accessories, he does come with the Matrix. Let's see if we can get that out. So that's pretty much the only pose you're going to be able to use that these hands would be good for. Let's see if we can do it. It'd be pretty awesome if he couldn't even hold the Matrix properly because of this grip. Okay, so that took me a second. So that's how you're supposed to hold it. I was trying to do the classic, you know, where you hold it above your head and, you know, you kill Unicron with it. But this one's more, you're supposed to just hold it in front of your chest. And in terms of the way that MP10 holds it, he can't. So that's +1 to this guy. And because he can actually stick his whole hand in here. I don't know if you can see this, but with how small the Matrix is on the MP10, I was able to stick one index finger in there, and that was about it. So this one a little bit nicer, but this one has the same hand style where he's got the single index finger that can sort of move on its own. Then he's got the mitt. So, you know, I think I got this. I probably got it in like 2014 or 2015. I remember this was like a Toys R Us exclusive, and I think I said that before, but it was the year of the horse, so it's whatever year that was. I think it was maybe their 30th anniversary, so that would have been, maybe 2016, maybe, like I said, it may have been 2015. But yeah, I got him. I think I had to order him because I couldn't actually find it at the local Toys R Us. Our local Toys R Us was not great, even back then, and then it only got worse right before they closed down. So, so yeah, +1 to that. The only thing that this one has that's a little bit nicer is the Matrix is like a solid piece of metal, whereas this one's definitely plastic. I think he was 150, 175, something like that. I think the real Cobra Burnout also bought this figure. I think he got it on clearance though, so maybe he'll chime in and say how much he paid for it back in the day. This guy is 125, so he's 125 and he doesn't come with the trailer. This one did come with the trailer. I don't display the trailer because the trailer was clear, and it does come with that one came with roller and, you know, all the accessories and whatnot. So this is just, you know, the truck with the Matrix and this, you know, freaky gun that's giant. And according to the instructions, apparently this goes, it goes on his fanny. So I don't know if I count that as gun storage. Like, just because you can squeeze it between the cheeks, I don't know if that counts. So we'll just say he doesn't have gun storage, at least in robot mode. But in terms of their height, I'm probably gonna, I know that one's gonna fall. I bet he can hold his mate. So standing up a little bit straighter, I think that's a little bit better. Standing up a little bit straighter, he's about the same size. But the guns, you know, you got this one versus this one. You know, it's like this is you and this is the guy that you're told not to worry about. So this one's definitely a little bit more fun just because it's like spring loaded. So, you know, you can kind of, that's pretty cool. This one is definitely more of just like an assault rifle type thing. Well, all right, that was a bit of a slog. It took me probably 20 or 30 minutes to actually transform this. I was reading the instructions, which these instructions on these new Transformers, maybe it's just me being an adult and also the fact that there's 49 steps to this, but sometimes I feel like I can't even tell what they're actually doing. Like, it's, you know, it's in black and white, and then it just has like they highlight it red and, you know, the things that they're changing. So it's hard to actually see what they're doing. You kind of have to like look at it, look at yours, look at it, look at yours, and just kind of figure it out and just, you know, hope you don't break anything. But the transformation on here, like I said, if I didn't have the Starscream, that Starscream is easily the hardest Transformer I have. This is probably number 2. I have a third-party Megatron. That's probably number 3. So, but this one is, I mean, it's got a lot of cool engineering that goes into it. Like whenever you're transforming some of this bottom, the leg that turns into the, you know, the rear side of the truck, like the wheels and stuff are moving around. I think like this one flips up, it flips down from up here, and, you know, you've got just a whole bunch of these panels that just shift up, and then like the gas tank, I think the gas tank is hidden inside the leg, and then that moves up, you know, to the side, to the profile of the truck. And I mean, it's a pretty solid looking vehicle. In terms of rollability, it does the job. There is no trailer, but there are like these little pegs on the feet that would kind of indicate that there probably is a trailer. Maybe there was like a Japanese exclusive version of this that has a trailer. Like I said, this MP-10, he has a trailer, but I don't pull it out because it's too long, and it's just kind of cumbersome to display. So in terms of comparison, I mean, I think this is a more solid piece if you're going to display it. This one is definitely easier to, like I say, transform. So if you're doing any sort of transformation for, you know, pictures or anything like that, or just for your dioramas, this one is definitely a little bit easier to transform. It does have rubber wheels or rubber tires. The wheels are, I think, just like a chromed plastic. These are hard plastic all the way around. So the downside to these is, of course, they'll eventually kind of rot and break. Those probably won't. These smokestacks on the MP-10, they are, I guess these are probably plastic, but they're chromed plastic. and they adjust depending on what mode you have it in. I think that's actually the cat mode. So this one, these are actually rubber, and whenever I first pulled the transformer, or whenever I first pulled them out, I saw that and I was like, oh, that kind of seems cheap. But with how intricate some of these some of the like moves and steps that you're doing, I was totally hitting these and kind of dinging them up. And if they weren't rubber, I don't know if I would have broken them, but I might have stressed some of that plastic. So this is, at first I didn't like it, but now actually actually transforming it, I'm like, it was actually a good idea. But yeah, so if you happen to see this is a Target exclusive, so that should be pretty much the only place you'll find it besides like your, I guess, third-party websites like TF Source, Big Bad Toy Store, Shozy, and of course eBay. I was looking at this guy on eBay because like whenever I just saw it, I think the Target I went to had 3, and so I just looked to see how much people were selling for on eBay, and I think they're selling for $200 or $300. I only bought one. I try not to scalp like that too often. I used to do that. I used to buy 2 of everything and then try to flip the other. You get burned on that a few too many times, and you kind of just lose interest in it. Plus, it's $125, so flipping it, buying it twice, it's $260, $70 just down the toilet. So, anyways, yeah, like I said, he's a good figure. If you've got the extra cash and you have like an Optimus Prime collection, then he is probably what you want to get.